All right, settle down everyone. I do my best to cover guest stars and notable appearances, but sometimes I have to skip people in the interest of time, and I don't always choose the right people to highlight. I am Hobson, anyone? More like I am boring. Am I right? Am I right?
Chlorophyll? More like Borophyll. Right?
Okay, so I stole that bit. And okay, I'm doing a disservice to I Am Hobson, whose eyebrow game alone is worthy of mention. Fact is, I've been saving a group of actors for this special, and they've all played... Nerd! We've had a lot of nerds in this show, but we've only ever featured our boy Edgar. With so many poor representations, let's take a look at the nerds and the actors who portrayed them. Let's start with Louise. You'll remember her as the so hot for boys nerd that she joins the supposed sausage fest of the California Cadet Corps. Louise was played by Laura Lyon, a 21-year-old who ended up with very few on-screen roles. Aside from some TV movies, she appeared in episodes of Life Goes On, Sunset Beat, and Full House. She was also the most palatable character in the worst movie I have ever seen, Rock and Roll High School Forever. Between takes of Corey Feldman channeling Michael Jackson and Corey Feldman hinting at future cringy musical performances, Laura plays Margaret, the popular girl's underling. Margaret can't get any play from her boyfriend, so she steals her friend's man. Hey, when life offers you some backseat action... Laura transitioned into other work, including co-producing the movie Charlotte Sometimes, designing gemstone jewelry for her company Reciprocity Productions, and teaching art in Southern California. Now stay tuned, because Laura Lyons' Louise will appear in more episodes. Let's next dig into Wendell. Does anyone know anything about Wendell? No? I guess we're done here. Okay, here's someone we can actually talk about.
You're mine.
Ronald Geekman was played by Richard Israel, and you'll see him sprinkled throughout a few more episodes. He apparently played a nerd so well that he was cast as a lead nerd in Revenge of the Nerds 3? The Next Generation?
Come on!
So there was more than one Revenge of the Nerds movies? There was 4? And an unaired TV pilot? And a canceled 2020's remake?
Come on!
Richard would go from being a nerd in a fraternity to the show Nightstand, where he played a nerd wishing he could get into a fraternity.
Come on!
Oh, here we go. An episode of Married with Children, where he goes on a date with Kelly. Nothing nerdy about her.
Come on.
Despite the role, he did get to share the screen with both Christina Applegate and Mia Jovovich.
Come on!
Okay, before the gag gets old, are there any more nerd roles to react to? Let's see, Richard returned several years later to Married with Children as a court jester. That's a medieval nerd. Come on. He was slated to play a character in a Dilbert TV show, and we all know how cool those engineering nerds are. Come on. He also played a top student in an entertainment class in the Larry Sanders Show, so yes, nerd.
Come on!
I'm sure Richard Israel has several more non-nerd related roles, but anyway, he eventually left acting to become a very successful figure in the theater scene. He's directed and developed several musicals, including Home Street Home, a Fat Mike project. He continues to teach stage acting in classes in New York and LA. Let's next tackle Alan Fairbanks, who was played by Dion Zamora. You remember Alan? He's the fat one. I've noted before that he's not really a fat guy, but I guess he is when compared to the rest of his castmates. In fact, much of Dion's on-screen appearances deal with him being a big guy, whether as a little fatty or as a bully. Dion's first on-screen role was in Mr. T's Be Somebody or Be Somebody's Fool, which is famous for this.
Mother, there is no other like mother, so treat her right.
In this special, Dion played an out-of-shape kid who learns to love fitness from Drill Sergeant Mr. T. Maybe if Mr. T had instructed the California Cadet Corps, Louise could have climbed that rope. Nope! In Webster, he played a kid named Chubby. In Beethoven's Second, he played Bully at Fair. In Encyclopedia Brown, he played the bully Bugs Meany. And in Camp Cucamonga, he played Chuck. Camp Cucamonga? Well, this was a TV movie on NBC that was written by Saved by the Bell writer Bennett Tramer. What could explain why Dion got the part? And Mr. Dewey? Who else is in this thing? Cliff from Cheers? George Jefferson from the Jeffersons? Wilhelm from Seinfeld? DJ from Full House? Steve Urkel from Family Matters?
When we get those babes in the forest, it's gonna be nasty.
Winnie from the Wonder Years? That other kid from the Wonder Years that everyone thought grew up to be Marilyn Manson, but didn't? Jennifer freaking Aniston? Dion eventually quit acting and is now a wealth advisor and insurance specialist in Texas. Our next nerd is one of my favorites, Herbert Hodus. Gosh dang. Now, very little is known about the actor, but this isn't another Wendell situation. Thanks to the folks over at Saved by the Bell Reviewed, we have some information on the actor. Herbert was played by the then 20-year-old Kevin Buffington, who had moved to LA from Montana to be an actor. Saved by the Bell was his only decent gig, though he did do some small work in other projects, just nothing credited. He soon moved back home, got married, and moved on with life. Side note, if you'd like a more crass take on Saved by the Bell, you might enjoy the Saved by the Bell Reviewed podcast. Our last nerd for this go-round is known as the richest, most powerful dork at Bayside. Maxwell Nerdstrom was played by Jeffrey Asch, and I know I said earlier that Rock and Roll High School Forever was the worst movie I've ever seen, but Jeffrey Asch's early career was just waiting until now to say, "Hold my beer." Like in Beach Fever, where he plays a, I think they said 12-year-old, who invents a love cologne. And racist hilarity ensues. Seriously, F this movie. Or in Adventures in Dinosaur City, where, holy farts, I don't even know what's going on. Jeffrey plays Bigfoot. That is all. F this movie. And what's up with all the snapping? As we know from the episode House Party, Jeffrey Asch has a great voice and a fantastic, bombastic presence.
Just remember, you're my squaw.
Get away from me or you'll be sorry.
His later appearances really took advantage of his brilliant oddities, like in Step by Step, where he was a bit on the sweaty side, or in Scrubs, where he... sorry, I got distracted by Dr. Elliot. Or in Scrubs, where he played a tragically short surgeon. Or in The Drew Carey Show, where he was honestly the funniest part of the entire episode. Grinding up on Drew Carey's leg. Jeffrey Asch's on-screen appearances are few, and I think he should have way more. And, well, there you have it.